built up, they've tried to diversify, because that's what the English told them. They said, look, we're going to give you the deeds to these wells, to these oil producing, this is going to be on you. Now you're going to make fucking tons of money. You're going to be wildly wealthy, but you need to diversify. Basically they gave them kind of like advice. And the advice, of course, was diversify, but do it through us, deal with us. And then we took over after World War II. And, the English, basically, as they were giving up their empire, they handed it off to us. And, we took over. And that's like with all these countries. That's why the Petro-Dollar and all that shit, that's why that exists. Because, and we're so lucky that we inherited this shit. The English, they feathered this sweetheart little nest for us. They put in their, they put people in power that were, sympathetic to English and white causes, or they were sympathetic to us, and that's why they got put in power. And the whole deal was, though, you're you're just a family in charge of a plot of land, a very rich plot of land that the rest of the world is going to want to take from you. Now, we don't want them to take that from you because you're good to us. So here's the deal. If you stick it out with us, we will protect you. We will make sure that nobody takes this land away from you. If you will just side us, if you will throw in your lot with us, we will make sure that you're not threatened. Your position of power, your position of wealth, we will protect that. We will be the guarantors, the benefactors of your throne. And that was the deal. And we even got them to use the dollar. We got them to say, okay, not only are, we're going to give you guys bases and let you guys, do your thing here. We don't really care as long as we're getting our money. And they didn't care. What do they care? They're getting the money. So they use the dollar, and then they cut a deal with us where every dollar that we use to buy oil, they will just recycle it. The Petro-Dollar recycling, where they will buy American Treasury bonds. That's really why we have the standard of living we have, is because the Petro-Dollar, because these Saudi Arabians, these royal families, because they're good enough to allow us to live this well. Dude, why we can run $1 trillion debt or $1 billion deficits every year with our budget? Because of the Arabs, because of their shine, the shine they took to us. Bro, that is literally the only reason why our standard of living is as good as it is. Because smart Englishmen and smart American men had the good sense to be nice to these dudes. And the only thing is that we kind of shit where we eat with Iran. We pissed them off. Really and truly, we pissed them off. Not only did we piss them off with the Shah, forcing the Shah upon them and overthrowing Mossadegh. And I forget what there was a reason why they took the hostages. I mean, it was more or less because we were fucking with them and up in their business and forcing oppressive regimes on them. So Israel was, being belligerent. So they took those hostages in the late 70s after they had their revolution. And ever since then, we've just been like talking shit and taking them for granted. For like half a century, we've taken this sweetheart deal we had for granted. Never mind the fact that the Iranians, although they didn't, that they are our enemies to one extent, that's how they've been portrayed in our media. But think about this: at any time, they could have disrupted everything and taken away this whole sweetheart deal we've worked out. Because you see how delicate it really is. We've gotten a class on how delicate the Middle Eastern situation really is. It is all contingent on there being peace there, on everybody. Think if just one of those countries decided, no, we're not having the Americans here. We refuse to allow peace to settle if those assholes are here. Bro, if we would have what we have now. All it takes, bro, the Houthis were able to disrupt all this shit. That was like a group of guys, less than 100, with like skiffs. We're not talking about a country even. We're not talking about a navy. We're talking about a ragtag fucking just group of fucking idiots, pirates, can totally fuck all this up. Like I says, all of this is contingent on us making sure or keeping them insulated, keeping them on their respective thrones, and keeping the money coming in. Once either one of those variables is disrupted, that the jig is up. It's no longer a status quo. The world is freaking out right now because they're not getting their oil. So, I mean, there's two things we had to do. Make sure that it's those Arab families, those royal families are getting their cut, and that the rest of the world is getting their oil. Those two things had to happen for us to stay in power there, to stay in control of that piece of land, that plot, that little area of oil wells, little gas stations. Well, we've pissed the Iranians off something awful.